and go home.
Hi everyone, good afternoon. We'll be starting sharp at 3 p.m. So please bear with us another 3 minutes to go and we'll be starting sharp at 3 p.m. Thank you. Hi friends, good afternoon. I can see a lot of you have already joined us. Thank you so much for being punctual and being on time. We'll be starting sharp at 3 p.m. So please bear with us another 2 minutes and we'll be starting. Hi, friends. Good afternoon. The room is filling up very quickly. Thank you all for being with us. Thank you for being punctual. We'll be starting in another 2 minutes, so please bear with us for another 2 minutes. We're waiting for all our other colleagues to join. If you have any questions regarding Switzerland tourism, please feel free to ask your questions in the chat tab, and we will be taking questions towards the end of this webinar. So please feel free to ask all your questions. Thank you. Good afternoon, friends. Thank you all for joining us today. Our room is quickly filling up. Please bear with us for another 1 minute and we will start. Thank you. Hi, friends. Good afternoon. Thank you all for joining us. And thank you for being so punctual and on time. It's so great to see so many of you with us today. Firstly, we will learn a lot about Switzerland today, and I have a very interesting one up lined up for you. There will be lots of presentations, videos, and polls as usual. Please feel free to ask all your questions in the chat tab. The chat tab on your screen, you can type in your questions, and we will be taking questions towards the end of this webinar. So please feel free to ask all questions. There is also a quiz at the end of the webinar, so please be attentive, pay attention, and I'm sure you'll be happy to answer those quiz questions. Today, I'm joined with a very power-packed lineup. As you can see on my screen, we have some great friends joining us from Switzerland as well as from India. First on screen, I have with me Mr. Ameya Kamath, the Business Development Manager Leisure for Switzerland Tourism. Next, I have Mr. Kunal Kothari, the representative for BLS Interlaken. Next, third, I have Mr. Alan Ramsey, the head of marketing of Schilthorn Cableway. And lastly, I have Mr. Alexander Berthod, the business travel manager for Ward Promotions. Thank you all for being here today with us. Thank you. Before I hand over to Ameya, I'm going to show you a quick video on Switzerland. So I'm just going to start the video right away.
Hey, Bob, how you doing?
Hey, Roger, how are you?
I'm just relaxing in the Swiss Alps. Take a look.
Yeah, it's good for you. Listen, about the Switzerland film you want me to do?
Yeah, did you see the boot film I sent you?
I'm watching it as we speak. I don't like it.
What?
Just look at where you are, Roger. I mean, you got your mountains, your skiing resorts, your charming little towns, your green valleys. There's no drama. No drama at all.
Seriously? But did you see the bits with the sunset?
Roger, I'm a certain type of actor. I need an edge, conflict, jeopardy. Switzerland is just too perfect.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. You guys are too nice. You should have said, fuck you.
Okay, listen. How about the two of us on this special mission? We ski down the slope.
What, skiing down a slope together?
We go even skydiving.
Come on.
Then we land on these fields and the cows are grassing.
Roger, I have to be honest with you. It's not happening.
Ah.
Sorry, Roger. Maybe call Hanks.
Who?
Thank you so much, Devika, and thank you everybody for attending our webinar series today. We have a very special lineup for you where we're going to take you through three very unique offerings within Switzerland. So the first one will be the BLS Interlaken Lake Cruises. We have Schilthorn, James Bond Mountain, and the beautiful French-speaking part of Switzerland, the Lake Geneva region. My name is Ameya Kamath, and I'm the Business Development Manager for Leisure Travel at Switzerland Tourism in India. And for all trade-related activities, questions, queries, I'm your point of contact whenever you need to get in touch to know anything. I just wanted to start off first by giving you an update with regards to the travel conditions to Switzerland. So, firstly, with regards to entry into Switzerland, always good to log on to the Federal Office of Public Health's travel check to get an understanding of the various conditions under which you can travel. The link is mentioned here. We will, of course, be sharing the presentation with all the attendees, so you can refer to the link when you get the presentation. Right now, Indians fully vaccinated with Covishield, that is 2 doses plus the 15 days cooling off period, are allowed to enter Switzerland without having to quarantine. Right now, the vaccine certificate that you need to carry with you is as per the new Indian travel certificate format that is downloadable via the CoWIN website or app. If you and you need to also fill up the entry form on the Federal Office of Public, created by the Federal Office of Public Health. The link is here: swissplf.admin/formula, and you need to carry these two documents to enter Switzerland from India. And as of now, unvaccinated travelers, partly vaccinated travelers, or those not vaccinated with a WHO approved vaccine like Sputnik or Covaxin, are not allowed to enter at this point of time. Right now, Switzerland is adhering to the strictest safety concepts with regards to ensuring the health and hygiene of the travelers in Switzerland, as well as ensuring absolute safety and various protocols in place so that you can enjoy your experience in Switzerland without any problems. We have the Clean and Safe initiative, which is a label that suppliers in Switzerland can apply for, which shows that they are adhering to the strictest safety standards, maintaining all the guidelines and protocols, and are ready to welcome you back to Switzerland. Right now, with regards to masks, they're mandatory in public transport, shops, and restaurants when you're not on your table. So, in case you're going to the buffet counter or on your way to the washroom, you need to ensure that you are masked up. Only when you're on your table, you don't need to be wearing a mask. It is always recommended, obviously, to adhere to all the COVID-19 protocols when you travel outside of India. And we know that you guys are responsible, and so are your clients. The latest update is that as of 25th October 2021, the Swiss COVID certificate has now come into full effect to enter indoor venues. So you need to apply for the Swiss COVID certificate, and you get access to indoor venues such as bars, restaurants, casinos, museums, etc. The EU digital COVID certificate that is valid across all Schengen and EU countries is also valid in Switzerland. And if you have a certificate that is compatible with the EU digital COVID certificate format, such that is also accepted in Switzerland, and then you don't need to apply for the Swiss COVID certificate. Please note that Indian guests fully vaccinated with Covishield can now convert their Covishield certificates as per the new format into the Swiss COVID ones. You will have to log on to this link that I mentioned, your COVID certificate form.admin.ch/foreign, and through that you have to fill in your details, the vaccine information, upload the required documents, and for a price of 30 CHF you can convert your certificate into the Swiss COVID certificate as well. It takes around 4 to 5 days to receive your certificate, and then you can travel hassle free and enter any indoor venues within Switzerland. The Swiss certificate can also be downloaded directly via the link once you have been given your certificate, or if you have the COVID certificate app, which is available for the iOS and Android, it gets loaded automatically onto that app as well. Uh, Only a small point to note is that if your travelers are entering Switzerland and spending their first overnight in Geneva, then you need to apply directly to the canton of Geneva via the link mentioned here. Right, for any new updates on guidelines for travel within Switzerland, you can log on to our website myswitzerland.com. We have the latest information constantly being updated week on week onto the platform. You want to know general information about the Swiss COVID certificate, then the FOPH, the Federal Office of Public Health, has created a link through which you can understand how to get it, how to use it, where is it applicable, etc. And of course, when your clients at this point are returning back to India and they need information about where they can get COVID tests done, the PCR tests done for the return flight, we have that information available on our website as well. For any travel procedure related queries or visa related queries, you can reach out to the Embassy of Switzerland Visa section or VFS Global. And furthermore, we are at your service. We provide as much information as we can about Switzerland and its travel products and various other aspects on our website, myswitzerland.com. Do follow us on LinkedIn as well. We put up all the latest updates and information on our ST India LinkedIn page. For you to know more about Switzerland and its various offerings, and as well as brush up on your knowledge and get an idea about the must knows for the India market. We also have an e-learning program called the Swiss Travel Academy. To register for it, we have some fun, interesting prizes available for those that complete all the modules and score the highest. And we also have our webinar recordings available. So in case you missed out on something and you want to rewatch it, you are free to do so on our website, myswitzerland.com/ST India webinars. And here we're available to help you at any point of time that you require our assistance. That's me, Ameya. I look after the travel trade for all leisure-related queries and information. If you have information that you need about the public transportation system, the Swiss travel system, you can reach out to my colleague, Deandra D'Souza. Or for those who have MICE and wedding-related queries for Switzerland, please get in touch with my colleague, Ms. Aishwarya Guhagarkar, who heads MICE for India. And we are happy to help you. Or for all general queries and information, you can write to us on india.trade@switzerland.com. Now, without further ado, I'm going to hand over the platform to my colleague, Mr. Kunal Kothari, who will take you through the wonderful scenic cruises in Interlaken on board BLS. Over to you, Kunal.
Thank you, Ameya. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this webinar for BLS, Schilthorn and Lake Geneva region. I am Kunal Kothari, and I'm working with or for KKR Travel or KKR World, sorry, and I'm the representative for BLS Interlaken, the cruises in both the lakes of Interlaken, which are Lake Thun and Lake Brienz. So welcome to the Lake Thun and Lake Brienz region, the place we all know as Interlaken. Blue-green lakes, picturesque chalet villages, and eternally white mountain summits. This is where you will experience picture book Switzerland we have so often seen in all our movies. Ameya, can you please, Devika, can you please play the video? So as I mentioned already, Interlaken is situated between the two lakes of Lake Brienz and Lake Thun. Both the lakes take the name from the furthermost point of where the lakes end or where they begin. The one, Lake Thun, takes its name from the city of Thun, and Lake Brienz from the city of Brienz. Key facts about BLS and Interlaken, of course. Two lakes in the heart of Bernese Oberland. Major boat stations which are just steps away from the train, bus or coach connections. If you've been to Interlaken before, the cruises for Lake Brienz just depart from just behind the Interlaken Ost station, and on Lake Thun depart from just close to Interlaken West station. There is enough parking for coaches as well if you are bringing in groups to the cruises. We have about 14 boats. 2 of them are steam boats and 12 are motor driven. We have 2 classes, the first and second class. There is catering available on all classes, on all our boards. We have scheduled cruises which are hop on, hop off. So you could board at one point and don't have to complete the cruise. You could get off at some other point, do an excursion and come back and take another cruise that's coming around. Only on Lake Brienz do we have seasonal operations, which is between April and October. On Lake Thun, they are running all year round. We also offer charter cruises as well as culinary cruises. On the Lake Brienz, which is the turquoise gem, mountain lakes with intense turquoise watercolor, deepest lake in the area with 261 meters depth, and the length is 14 kilometers with the width at 2.9 kilometers. We have choice of excursions that can be easily combined with the lake cruises. Like I mentioned, you could get off at one of these points and then come back and rejoin the cruise from another cruise that's scheduled here. So you could visit the Giesberg waterfalls or the Swiss Open Air Museum, which is Ballenberg, mountain excursions, some of them, and of course, any of the villages that you might want to get off at. So here's our timetable that was last operating. Currently, of course, we are running reduced services because right now travel has just about opened and we don't have as many travelers. It makes more sense to have reduced operations. Currently, of course, we are running on Lake Brienz. There are no more cruises operating as of today because they are closed for maintenance. But the timings were these as on the chart. Then we move to Lake Thun, which is in the heart of the Bernese Alps with magnificent deep blue water. Largest lake in the Bernese Oberland with depth of 218 meters, length of 14.6 kilometers and width of 3.5. Breathtaking mountain panorama. You can see the Jungfraujoch mountains and Eiger and Monk as well from here. Lots of attractions on the lake shores that you could visit. We have, of course, excursions that are easily combinable here. You have the 5 castles, you have the Vitus caves, and many mountain excursions that can be done here from Interlaken or in the Jungfrau region. So, my first poll question: BLS cruises will not operate on Lake Brienz during the winter of 2021. Is that true or false?
Friends, the poll question is now on your screens. You can see the poll questions on your screens. Kunal will give it another few seconds and I'll give the answer to you.
Sure.
Guys, I can see a lot of you have already voted, so please continue to vote. Kunal, I have the results in for you. 64% feel true and 36% feel false.
So you haven't been listening. We don't operate on the Lake Brienz during the winters. It's only between April and October that we are operating. My next poll questions are also based on what I'm presenting, not to mention that the quiz questions also take from the presentation, so you've got to be a little bit more vigilant. So that's the timetable for the scheduled cruises on Lake Thun. That's currently operational until 7th November. And then onwards until the 4th of April, the timetable is also available. Please always check the latest timetable available on our website, which is bls.ch/boat. Because timetables, of course, are subject to change, and we may add on or reduce one of these departures based on capacity. The tickets that are valid on these cruises, of course, the assortment of Swiss Travel system, whether it's the Swiss Travel passes, the half-fed card, or any of those products, including those which are tailor-made for packages like Tops of Switzerland, etc. Of course, Eurail and Interrail passes as well. Of course, Interrail is for Europeans living in Europe. Eurail is how we all know it, made extremely famous by DDLJ years ago, about 26 to be precise. We have also the regional pass Bernese Oberland, which is accepted. This is a product specifically valid only within the central Switzerland, or the Bernese Oberland. Also the Jungfrau travel passes, which are valid from days 3 for up to 8 days. Those also are accepted on our cruises. Of course, we have highly discounted fares for groups. Minimum group size is 10 passengers, and please note that for groups only, reservation is absolutely mandatory. What's new on the Lake Brienz is we have free audio guide and Wi-Fi available on the renovated boat, which is MS Jungfrau, which will be starting operations coming summer. It used to be a paddle steamer steamboat, which is now kind of electrically run on a sustainable hybrid engine. We have apps that you can download for iOS and Android that will give you information about the place that you are on, or even timetables and etc. On certain schedules cruises, we also have, of course, there will be daily departures up to October 23rd, 2022, starting April. And then, like I said, you can always combine it with all the excursions and attractions in the Jungfrau region. So you could even do a trip to Schilthorn, for example, and then come back and enjoy a cruise on Lake Brienz or Lake Thun, whichever you are around. We also offer charter services, so you could charter a boat for either a corporate group or ad hoc group, or just one of your series, whichever applicable. We can also do weddings. That's also possible. Boat capacities range from 32 passengers to up to 370 with banquet spaces. Catering is a la carte, of course. I know what question is coming for that. We don't yet offer Indian catering on board. Yes, vegetarian will be possible. Jain, that's a bit difficult. Poll question 2. Reservations are mandatory on BLS cruises for group sizes 10 or above. True or false?
Friends, the second poll question is now on your screens. Please do cast your votes. Kunal is paying attention to the ones who paid attention to him till now or not. Come on, guys, I'll give you another few seconds. Please, it's a true and false answer. So, Kunal, I have 94% saying true and 6% saying false.
Yeah, so very few are not really exactly attentive. Okay, no problem. Give you one more chance. So here's a picture of one of our steamboats. Okay, COVID safety protocols. Masks, of course, are necessary, especially when you are inside the deck. When you're out on the outer deck, where in the open area, it is not compulsory, but it's always recommended to be wearing one. BLS cruises, of course, have the clean and safe certification. The COVID certificate, as Amaya already mentioned, is requested when you are on board, especially in indoors. Okay, I think given the weather right now, when coming winter, I think most of the travelers will be indoors, so it would be necessary for them. On private charter boats, of course, all passengers have to present a valid COVID-19 certificate before boarding the cruise, right? So, BLS offers culinary experience as well as options to charter cruises. True or false?
Friends, come on, we're waiting here. Kunal is now wants to know if you've actually paid attention at all or not. So please go ahead, cast your votes. Your poll is up on your screen. It's a simple true and false. We'll just give it another few seconds and then I'll wait the responses out. Come on, friends, I can see a lot of you are polling. The bars are moving up and down. So come on, last few seconds, please put in your replies. So Kunal, I have the results in. It's 96% saying true and 3% saying false.
I'm intrigued to find out if the 3% are the same that were not paying attention, or somebody just got a call and got disturbed during the presentation.
Unfortunately, we won't know that one.
Okay, so if you have any questions, that's my contact details. I'm Kunal Kothari, representative. I'm working out of Navi Mumbai in Seawood's Grand Central Mall on the towers above. My email address is kunal@kkrworld.com. That's my friend from BLS. His name is Nicholas Hortz. He's the sales manager for the area. And if there are any queries regarding big sales, you can write to him at sales@bls.ch if you have specific group requests or charters. Of course, you can always write to me, but in case. That's that. Thank you very much. See you on board very soon. And I think next up is my dear friend James Bond from Schilthorn.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. It is me next. Thank you very much, Kunal. Well, I am sitting in Stechelberg, which is in the valley, the Lauterbrunnen Valley. And at the moment, the Schilthorn isn't open because we closed it yesterday to carry out maintenance and safety work. But don't worry, we'll be opening up again on the 19th of November. I am fortunate enough to live on the Lake of Brienz. So every morning I wake up and look out and I can see over the Lake of Brienz. And it's highly recommended to go on the boats out from the Lake of Brienz. And then in the morning, I jump on a bicycle and I cycle up the valley, the beautiful Lauterbrunnen Valley, to come to work here in Stechelberg. My name is Alan Ramsey, and I represent the Schilthorn Band as the head of markets. And as you can see behind me, maybe you can see that there's a couple of James Bonds there, but I've got my gun as well, so don't worry. I'm here to threaten you to try and get a bit of business. So let's go to the video. Is it? No, the poll question. I was just testing you there. Poll question number 3. Which of the following mountain excursions do you sell or have your clients been to? You've got A, Jungfraujoch, top of Europe, B, Titlis, C, Pilatus, D, Grindelwald First, top of Adventure, E, Schilthorn, F, Glacier 3000, G, Matterhorn, or others. And you can obviously do multiple entries if you're sending to all or just some of those. I look forward to hearing the results.
Friends, we have the poll question on for you. Please do cast your vote.
It's a complicated one. You've got multiple entries. It's not just a true or false. It makes it more difficult, or making you work. But hopefully it's fun.
Yes, I've never got so many responses so quickly before.
Hey, well done. Well done,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah. So A, Jungfrau is at 30%. B is Titlis is at 20%. E, option E is at 10%, and the rest are all under 10%.
Okey-doke. Wonderful. Thank you for that. And now we're off to the video with a bit of luck. Thank you, Devika. And the reason that video looked so fantastic is because it is fantastic. I'm actually from Scotland. Came here for a winter season. It's now been 31 years, and I just get excited every time I go up that mountain. And I know that a lot of you have sent clients to the Jungfrau Joch and to Titlis already. So I'm telling you now, the next time these clients coming to Switzerland, you should send them to the Schilthorn. Now we're just up the road from Interlaken, so it's not too far at all. You can see it there on the map. There's the Jungfrau region. At the number 1 on the top right, that is the Schilthorn, and it has the most amazing view over to Eigermünchen Jungfrau. You can travel, of course, with a Swiss travel pass by train from Interlaken up to Lauterbrunnen, jump on the bus to get to Stechelberg, and then you're on the cable car, and in only 32 minutes, you're going to make it all the way to the top of the mountain. What we'd like to know now, because the Swiss travel pass will get you on the train, on the bus, and even on the cable car all the way to Mürren, free of charge, and then you pay 50% for the journey from Mürren to the Schilthorn and return. So do you sell the Swiss travel pass?
Guys, the question is up on your screens.
A yes, B no.
So I have the answers in as well. 84% said yes, the rest said no.
Excellent. Then you'll be happy to learn that the Schilthorn in 2022 is going to be doing a special offer of Swiss travel pass. You can get a ticket to the Schilthorn and back. You buy one and get one free. And you can do that through Otilla, Excursions, TBO, Amigo, Thomas Cook, your usual agent. So there's something to look forward to. So make sure you ask them there. Now we're on to the Lauterbrunnen Valley, so we're looking from Eigermünch and Jungfrau, and you can see the train station bottom right is Lauterbrunnen. If you follow up the valley there, the valley of the waterfalls, and then you get to Stechelberg, the cable car is just 32 minutes from the bottom of the valley to the top of the mountain. And this, out of all those excursions you saw on that poll question, this is the only trip that takes you to the top of the mountain. There's the Lauterbrunnen Valley, made absolutely beautiful. And J.R.R. Tolkien, who wrote the books Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, he wandered up here in 1911 and used a lot for the inspiration. All came from this area for the books, which resulted in the films. The Trommelbach waterfalls are also an easy excursion to make on the way out, I would say. Having visited the Schilthorn, you can do it. And the other waterfall is the Murenbach, which is the highest waterfall in the whole of Switzerland, and our cable car will take you past it. Up past the village of Muren, you can see the Eiger and the Munch there clearly in the background. And as I said before, we're taking you to the top, the absolute peak. Not like the other places, we take you to the top of the mountain. You can see the cable car in the cloud between Berg and Schilthorn there. And it really is a fantastic view made famous by the James Bond film on Her Majesty's Secret Service, which is the 6th James Bond film. Inside, you've got the James Bond bar and the restaurant. If you look at those mountains through the window, they're all there for real. Beautiful place to enjoy a drink at the bar and then have a lunch, something to eat. Your table's right next to the window. You've got these fabulous views, Eigermünch and Jungfrau, up to 200 alpine peaks. And we do serve Indian food at the top on the a la carte, so don't worry about that. Blankety blank, blankety blank. Let me go back. Skip that one. Then we go to the Bond World, which is a multimedia interactive exhibition included in the ticket price. It's got a helicopter simulator, a bob simulator, plenty of things to learn about James Bond and the film that was made up there. And we have the Bond Cinema, which is a 12-meter screen, which gives you fantastic views of the area, the different seasons, and plus also clips from the James Bond film. And there is Mr. George Lazenby standing there in front of his hand imprints, which were collected in 2015. So the picture's him in 1969, and that was taken in 2015. But I can tell you, I looked a lot different 50 years ago than I do now. He's changed a bit too, but he's been out here 3 times. At the end of the Walk of Fame, we've got the Piet's Gloria View platform, giving you the best views of Eigermünch, Jungfrau, and the Schilthorn Peak. We have guaranteed snow all year round. This is a new product. Before, with the global warming, we were losing the snow, but now we can guarantee it even June, July, August. It's no problem. You can get down there, touch the snow. Because we're on the peak, there's no great activities up on the peak. They're all on the platform or in the restaurant, but the snow is touchable up there too. And we offer free folklore music every June, July, and August from 11 till 3. On the way back down, you'll stop at the Berg station, and at the Berg station, we've got our thrills. You've got the Skyline Walk and the Thrill Walk. Skyline Walk is there, that platform, and below it is the Thrill Walk. Skyline Walk is a platform. You can put 100 people on this platform, take amazing pictures of Eigermünch and Jungfrau behind you, and then you can pop on down to the Thrill Walk. You can see high up on the right next to the cliff, that's the Skyline Walk poking out, and the Thrill Walk is below it. It's a 200-meter walkway. You can even go on a tightrope or crawl through a tunnel, and that's for big kids, like small kids like that, and big kids like me. Regarding COVID, I can tell you that in the cable cars, then the masks are compulsory. What's great about our cable cars is that you're going maximum 8 minutes between Moorn and Berg, and the other stretches of cable car are 5 minutes or less, which means you're out in fresh air very quickly. In the restaurant, the COVID certificate is needed, and once you get into the restaurant, you can relax, take your mask off, and you only actually need to put it on when you leave, because it's a completely enclosed restaurant. So that's all about that. I was in India in February 2020, and as soon as things start to open up, I look forward to meeting you guys from the trade there. So I'm going to say thank you very much indeed, and pass you over to the wonderful Lake Geneva region.
Thank you, Alan. Well, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. It's a great pleasure to be here with you today and talk to you a little bit more about my region, the Vaud region, also known as Lake Geneva region. My name is Alex, and I work for the tourism board for 12 years now, and I'm in charge of MICE and some of the markets included India at the moment. So this is our USP, the UNESCO World Heritage Site of La Vaud, which is a vineyard between Lausanne and Montreux. First bold question, do you have any itineraries featuring Lake Geneva region, Canton of Vaud, and its attractions?
Friends, the question's up on your screens. We are waiting for you to please cast your vote. Alexander, we just give it another few seconds and I'll have the responses for you.
Okay, so that's 2/3.
Yeah, that's a 70% yes and a 33% no.
So there's still a progression possibility.
Yes.
It's already pretty good. All right. So here's the map of Switzerland. We were in Interlaken, Schilthorn, central Switzerland, Bernese Oberland. We're going a little bit more west towards Lac Léman, Lake Geneva, that you see here on the left-hand side. Here is our region. It's a big canton in Switzerland, and it's pretty diverse with lake, vineyards, mountains, big cities according to Swiss standards, and rolling hills in the Jura. So we're gonna see why include Lausanne and Montreux Riviera in your Switzerland trip. So I'm gonna give you some bits of information, things that might help you offer and sell our region. I'd say, first of all, our region is very known for what we call art de vivre, just a good life, the good food, good times. And we are definitely the region for food and wine, with 95 restaurants ranked in the Gold Mio in the Vaud region. So we're definitely the food and wine capital in Switzerland. And we're also a famous wine region with 6 different wine regions and 8 labels. Tons of restaurants, from the Gold Mio ones to nice mountain huts, really anything you want. We also have chocolate and cheese trains with the Golden Pass lines, vineyard walk. You can see here in the background the La Vaud UNESCO World Heritage Site with its vineyard and his family enjoying its time at the table. Our destinations, definitely Lausanne, the biggest one, the Olympic capital, right on the shores of Lake Geneva. As we say, Olympic capital, why is it? Because the Olympic Committee sits in Lausanne, and we do have the Olympic Museum, and as I said, the headquarters. You see here the Gothic Cathedral, and this is the Lausanne City Center. It's actually the 4th largest city in Switzerland. Lots of students, the university campus, which is pretty much 10% of the city's inhabitants. The other big destination, which is more of a resort type of destination, only 20 minutes away, also on the Lake Geneva shore, is Montreux Riviera. Montreux, as I said, is home of many celebrities that used to spend time there. You can see Freddie Mercury, frontman from Queen, here on that picture. It's famous for its Montreux Jazz Festival. You certainly may have heard about it. And also touristic sites like Chillon Castle or Chaplin's Museum or the Alimentarium. Here it is, our USP. I have the chance to live not in this village, but the one just down at the lake. And like Alan was saying, the way he enjoys living where he is, I have to tell you guys that I really feel the same, waking up there every morning and swimming in the lake in the summer, or bicycling, or just taking hikes in this vineyard that you see here is something that I really enjoy on an everyday basis. So that's the UNESCO World Heritage Site since 2007. Lots of winemakers do live in these villages. You can hike, you can bike through the vineyard. You have nice, easy path in the vineyard, and this is linked to public transportation. That's all the stretch of land between Lausanne and Montreux Riviera, access with train, very, very easy, nothing is too steep, and you can actually stop by any winemakers to taste some wines. The highlights: Chillon Castle, very known, is the most visited historical monument in Switzerland. You do have guided tours, audio guides, and they also offer wine tasting. You can access the castle by train or also by boat, as you see here on the pictures. Definitely one of the big highlights of our region. Another one, very important, especially after having heard of Interlaken, is the Golden Pass line with the Golden Pass Panoramic, the Classic, and they have Chocolate Train and Golden Pass Express. And this is actually the link between the Berners Oberland, Interlaken, and Montreux. And I'll tell you more about that in the news at the end, because we have something very exciting from next year on. The Olympic Museum, I mentioned, the only one in the world, in Lausanne, next to the Beau Rivage Palace. It's also on the lake shores. 3 different floors in the building, talking about the ancient times, the origin of the games, the athletic spirit. It's all very dynamic. You can go with kids. You can touch and play pretty much everything, and that's something you can do, with the family, in couples, alone, and it's also a great venue for events. Chaplin's World. Charlie Chaplin is one of these super famous guests that we had in our region. And we have Chaplin's World like Grévin, the wax museum company, right above Vevey, at the end of the Vigneault Lavaux Vineyard. And that really shows the private life of the man and the artist as well. So the concept is the Hollywood-style studio that they've created, which is brand new, and they recreated all parts of the different movies. There again, you can touch, you can play, you can really have fun in the museum, but you also have the mansion where he used to live that's been fully renovated with all the original furnitures. And you can basically really see, the man with his home and, the actor, the artist with the Hollywood-style studio next to it. A little bit of culture. Platform 10 is the brand new thing coming up in Lausanne. It's the art district, basically, in Lausanne, called Platform 10 because it's at the train station on what was platform number 10. And that's one single location for the Beaux-Arts Museum, which is fine arts, the Museum of Photography, and the Contemporary Design and Applied Arts. So all the 3 museums are going to be together just a few meters away from the train station, and that's going to create, kind of a new neighborhood with terraces and restaurants and some shops as well. Part of it is already open. They will finish the construction next year. That's something really terrific for the cultural offer in Lausanne. Talking about mountains, we also have one. It's called Glacier 3000. That's the highest point of the Vaudois Alps at 3,000 meters. As the name says, it's open all year round. Amazing views on the Bernese Oberland on one side, on the Matterhorn, the Mont Blanc, and it's also 360 degrees towards Lake Geneva. And they have a suspended bridge between the two peaks called Peak Walk, and you see it here on that picture, and that measures a 107-meter long. They also have other activities, alpine coaster, snow bus ride, chairlift, and etc. I had a poll question here. Which Swiss vineyard is a UNESCO World Heritage Site? So I don't know if you have, let's see, it's not the same template as the Switzerland tourism one.
Alexander, we don't have that poll question on the screen.
Okay.
But friends, please feel free if in the chat.
If you want to comment in the chat, so I'll be happy to have a look at it, if I can see it.
We're getting a lot of responses in the chat tab.
Okay, so
Wavox, Lavok, Lavasa, Lavansa.
Yeah, it's Lavaux. That's correct. I see now a lot of correct answers. It's exactly Lavaux, that vineyard I mentioned between Lausanne and Montreux.
Yeah.
So really good job. Yeah, I see lots of correct answers.
The chat is burning up now with lots. Yeah. Thanks, friends. Thank you for responding on chat.
Awesome. Some informations. Of course, hotels working with the Indian market. We've added a list here. Of course, 5 stars in Lausanne, Beau Rivage Palace, Lausanne Palace, the Royal Savoy, and in Montreux, the Fairmont Royal Plaza, Trois Couronnes. Also, Angleterre Residence, Chateau d'Ouchy, Swiss Majestic, Astra. That might ring a bell to many of you out there. And I quickly mentioned that before. Something great from next year on is the Golden Pass Express. That's definitely the one link, the best link between the Bernese Oberland and Lake Geneva region is with the Golden Pass. For those who know, there was one train change before on the way, but from next year, this is going to be a direct connection. No need to change train anymore. There's the system with the width of the wheels will do it automatically. And so you don't need to change train. And they're adding a prestige class with swivel seats so you don't miss anything on this beautiful train ride. So that's about it from my side. My name is Alex, and I'm project manager, business travel manager here, and my colleague Matthew. He's also in charge of Indian market, you see here. So if anyone has any questions, feel free to reach out to us or with Switzerland Tourism. We would be happy to help you out with any inquiries you may have. So that's about it from my side. Thank you very much for your attention. And I'm wishing you a great day.
Thank you so much, Alex. Thank you, Alan and Kunal, for taking the time out and sharing insights into your various products and the various offerings for the India market. We now go to the Q&A session. Just a couple of questions were there regarding the Swiss COVID certificate. So it is now into full effect as of 25th of October 2021. You require the Swiss COVID certificate to travel within Switzerland and enter indoor venues like restaurants, bars, casinos, nightclubs, museums, etc. Without that, you would not be given entry into any of these indoor venues. So you would have to either opt for sitting outside or takeaways or deliveries or in-room dining. Else, the other option is, if you don't have the certificate, then your client will have to do either an antigen test every 48, which is valid for 48 hours, or a RT or a PCR test, which is valid for 72 hours. Now, for the question and answer session, first, Kunal, this is for you with regards to the operations of the cruises in the winter season. Are they operational, and if not, is there a particular reason that clients can't access them?
It's only operational in the Lake Thun and not in Lake Brienz. I'm guessing, I'm sure it doesn't freeze, but that's how it is. I guess we don't have enough passengers coming during that time, or really have to find out. But Lake Thun is operational throughout the year. It's only Lake Brienz that operates during the summer from April to October.
So, I mean, the water level at the Thun recedes is the reason that I'd got so during the winter.
Possibly.
Yeah. Secondly, you mentioned something about chartering a boat, right? So, for example, if a particular tour operator or an ad hoc group travel agent books a charter for a gala night or a special event kind of a thing, will that then, in that case, will Indian catering be allowed on board?
Well, we've got to partner with some caterer there, and currently we don't really have one that who's. I mean, we can partner, but then the only problem is we kind of expect like authentic Indian food, which could be a little bit of a challenge. So if the passengers are fine with Indian looking food and Indian food, but then it may not just taste like it's made by somebody. You're fine.
So is there a tie-up with any of the restaurants based out of Interlaken or something like that can be organized?
We can try. I mean, really depends on the group size and the request and how early the request comes in actually. So if it's a charter, we need at least like a 4-week leeway. We need to know about 4 weeks in advance of the departure date. Then we can definitely try and do something.
Great. And just with regards to another question, the final question for you, does BLS Interlaken have any specific tie-ups with hotels in the region for special packages on booking with those hotels?
Not really.
And as just wanted to reiterate, the excursion is included in the Swiss Travel Pass, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's only for groups that you need to buy separate tickets, or of course, if you don't have a Swiss Travel Pass or a Eurail Pass and you are on a road trip around in Switzerland, then you will have to purchase the ticket. But otherwise, of course, with a Swiss Travel Pass or a Eurail Pass and all the passes that I mentioned, it's absolutely possible to board the cruises without paying anything. Of course, if you eat the food there or on board, that's extra.
Great. Thanks so much, Kunal. Alan, we move to you.
Yes.
There were a few queries regarding how exactly one reaches, if you could repeat it, Interlaken to Schilthorn.
Interlaken to Schilthorn, you get on the train at Interlaken Ost, which takes you to Lauterbrunnen in the Lauterbrunnen Valley. You get off the train at Lauterbrunnen and get into the post bus, which is sitting next to the station, and it takes you all the way to the Stechelberg station of the Schilthorn Bahn. You get out there, have your tickets ready or your Swiss Travel Pass, and take the cable car from Stechelberg to Gimmelwald to Murren to Berg to Schilthorn. But it sounds difficult, but it's very simple because you have to get out the cable car, otherwise it will go back down the hill.
And a question is with regards to the pricing. If you have like an on-the-spot booking, if you could just help out.
The pricing, the normal price is 108 francs for a return trip from Stechelberg to the Schilthorn. However, with a Swiss travel pass, you get free of charge all the way up to Mürren, and from Mürren, you pay a return trip at, I've got to think, half price. I don't have it in my head. It is. I'm trying to think. I think it's for 42 francs 80. I think 45 francs for a return trip with the Swiss travel pass.
The next question is, of course, the famous Indian food question. Alan, is there any insight from you on it?
There's a vegetarian Indian dish which is prepared by Spice India and Interlaken. So we do not try and cook Indian food ourselves. We take it from a professional and serve it. So there is Indian food available cooked by Indians, but not in India.
Thank you, Alan. And there are questions regarding gala nights on the Schilthorn. I mean, if you have to book it, how does one go about it? And
very simply, we have a minimum of 50 people, and we can take up to 300. In September, we had a evening event for car repair network, and we had 186 people coming up to the Schilthorn enjoying drinks as an apero beforehand and going up into the restaurant. They had music playing and enjoyed all that until 10:30, and then went back down the mountain and took buses back to the Victoria Jungfrau in Interlaken. So that is no problem, and the advantage is you will get it exclusive use from 50 up to 300 people in the evenings, because we're technically not open in the evenings, okay?
Great. And with regards to Schilthorn, and in the Lauterbrunnen Valley and the nearby attractions, are there any combined packages that one can purchase from the names that you mentioned? Amigo, Otilla, Thomas Cook, etc.
These guys are doing the Swiss travel pass 2 for 1, so buy one get one free. What they can also do is arrange to have the entrance to the Trummelbach waterfalls included in the package as well.
Great. Thank you so much, Alan.
Thank you all very much indeed. And I apologize to Alex. I had a complete blank and couldn't remember his name and didn't introduce him very well. So my apologies for that.
Alex, now we move over to you. And the first question is with regards to Indian restaurants in LGR, Lake Geneva region, and the possibility of veg and Jain food, in the region as well for clients.
Of course, there's a whole bunch of Indian restaurants throughout the region. I'd be happy to send a list or follow up with you guys to send you an updated document with this. And aside from Indian food, there's vegetarian food is available pretty much everywhere in any restaurant with any type of food.
The next question is, you took us through the fantastic highlights, right? Glacier 3000, Shore Castle, etc. So what would be the various discounts or inclusions when you have a Swiss travel pass?
Swiss travel pass would be with Shore Castle. Golden Pass line is also included, but you need to pay for the seat reservation and the Olympic Museum.
Great. And Glacier 3000 would be, I assume, 50% off, right?
There's a discount, yes. It's not fully included, but there's a discount with it.
Great. So now, as you know, Glacier 3000, Lake Geneva region, along with Glacier 3000, they've become like pretty popular in the India market. Pre-COVID, we had a lot of traction of travelers, coming there. So we have a lot of, interested parties on the chat box asking if you have to do Lake Geneva region and include it in your itinerary, what would be, the ideal itinerary, a suggestion from your end, if you could just enlighten us.
But what do you mean, like a number of nights or just a full itinerary?
I mean, would love to get like a perspective on what would be the minimum duration of stay that you would recommend, and how would you kind of schedule that entire itinerary so that we can get some people to just start working on it based on the
Okay.
chat.
I would say 3 nights would be a minimum because there's really I mean the region is pretty big, so basically 3 nights would be great. There are things to do in Lausanne, of course, that I mentioned. Montreux as well, excursions up to the glacier. There's a chocolate factory to visit as well. That can be also linked, for a longer trip, have a link between Interlaken for a few days and then a few days in our region. Of course, that's something that's doable, and I would totally suggest as well. But I would really say 3 nights in our region is a minimum.
Great. Thank you so much. One more. I have two more questions. One related to people want more details on the chocolate and cheese train experience. If you could just quickly touch up on those.
That's on the Golden Pass, and the cheese train is in the winter time. It goes from Montreux up to Châteaudet, and you can have cheese on that ride. And the chocolate train is in the summertime, and that goes from Montreux as well up to Brock, and you have cheese tastings on board. But this is on specific days that I can get back to you with the exact timings of that. That's all through Golden Pass line.
Great. And just since we're just transitioning from autumn to winter, can you just give an insight into Montreux, Lausanne, and the entire region during the winter season, especially Christmas, because we do see a lot of people interested in traveling during the December-Jan months?
Yes, definitely. I mean, the cities are next to the mountains. From Lausanne or Montreux, let's say, to the mountain places, it's about an hour drive. What we're going to have, we don't know the actual version that we're going to have, but the Christmas markets, the one in Montreux is very famous. I think it starts on the 26th of November. So this is definitely something to see. And in Lausanne, there's a light show festival, same period in December, and they also have their own Christmas market. So that gives a bit of fun stuff to do in the cities. But then again, the winter season starts in the mountain with skiing mid-late December.
Thank you so much, Alex. And with that, we conclude the Q&A session. Once again, would like to thank Kunal, Alan, and Alex for participating and taking us through their fantastic offerings for the India market. Now we get to the information about the webinar quiz. As for those who've been regularly attending, you all know the one who scores the highest marks and attends all the webinar quizzes gets a chance to be selected for a fam trip to Switzerland next year. So just keep this updated on this. Answer the quiz via the link that has been provided in the chat box and on the presentation as well. Only answers received via the link will be considered for this. You need to submit all your answers before 7 p.m. today. All answers post that will not be taken into account. This quiz is only open to those who are part of the Indian travel trade, and anybody on the outliers will not be considered for this. Please do fill in all the information that is required in the form correctly so that we can communicate with you at a later point of time. And if you have any general queries or clarifications or any information that you need about Switzerland and its travel products, please do not hesitate to write to us on india.trade@switzerland.com. Right. So the quiz, basically multiple choice questions via the link that is on the chat box. Is the Shiok Castle the most visited attraction in Switzerland? Where is the International Olympic Committee based in? Question 3. Which of the following Swiss mountain excursions take you all the way up to the top of the mountain? Which of the following actors starred in the James Bond film on the Schilthorn? Question 5. Which boat names did you see in the video played by BLS Interlaken? Question 6. how many boats do BLS Interlaken operate on both the lakes? And question 7, which of the below products is not valid on the BLS cruises? So please do answer in your questions via the link, and we look forward to seeing all your answers. For those that have tuned in right now, we have a lot of downloadable content available in the files tab that will help you promote and sell all these destinations. Please go to the files tab and download the same for your reference. And of course, please do write to us if you have any queries or clarifications that you need. With that, I would like to thank you so much for participating, and we look forward to updating you about our next few webinars that are coming up. So please stay tuned, and have a great week ahead, and looking forward to seeing a lot of your clients visiting Switzerland on board the BLS cruises, traveling up to Schilthorn, and of course visiting the Lake Geneva region. Thank you so much.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to all of you. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.